I'm the vicar of the Minster here. I've already spoken to a number of people who didn't know Halifax had a Minster. 900 years, built by Benedictine monks. Just to say perhaps that being part of the community of faiths in Corderdale, it's part of what we do. It's part of our DNA in making sure that the place where we live is a strong community. So for us as Christians, at this time of the year, we're celebrating that God became a human being in the person of Jesus, who came down on earth so that he could experience what it was to be a human being. And like many other winter festivals, we describe Jesus as being the light of the world. And suddenly we begin to see through Diwali and through Chanukah and through Islam that this theme of light and hope are things which don't divide the faith communities but actually unite the faith communities. Hugely delighted that YABA have chosen faith and the sharing of faith to be part of their organisation, and have people from different faith communities standing up and talking passionately about their faith in the public domain. It's very good to be here amongst you all. Sharon asked me just to say a few words about Corderdale Interfaith. So this is the organisation which here in Corderdale, in this part of West Yorkshire, tries to bring all the faith communities together. And what do we do? Well, one of the things we do is a lot of work around religious literacy. So one of the organisations we've just done a particular piece of work with is West Yorkshire Police, in helping the police to understand when they go to visit families in homes, or they've got people in the station that they've had to arrest and are interviewing, to understand that as people of faith there will be particular needs that those people have. So one of the kind of classic examples is the number of organisations who organise really important events on Fridays, which is the Sabbath day for Islam, and you'll find that most Muslims want to be in the mosque on that day. So one of the important things is to say, please don't organise events on Fridays. We've done quite a lot of work with local authority, so we've actually made a film about each faith and what it represents, and that helps the council in their public engagement, but it also helps them to be a good employer. We do a lot of work in schools, so trying to help schools deliver the national curriculum, so understanding what it is to be British and people from different ethnicities and backgrounds who've been born here, and actually helping to understand different values that people hold. Another interesting piece of work we've been doing is around end of life with the local hospice, but also in the local hospitals, and trying to help health practitioners understand the needs of the different faith communities when it comes to the end of life. So we've done 2 conferences in one of the local mosques here in Halifax with people from the different faith communities and the palliative care teams to try and understand better and try and enable the whole community to come together. We've also been doing some work around social cohesion. There are lots of statistics around what we think about our neighbours and things like that. So there's a major role to play around the prevent agenda, social cohesion, enabling communities to become more resilient, particularly when things go wrong. And it's sad when things go wrong, you suddenly realise how resilient you are. So in 2015 we had amazing floods here in the Calder Valley, and suddenly there were people of all the faith communities piling in together to help rescue businesses and families, and helping communities to know each other. So providing all kinds of occasions which bring the faith communities together. YABA, this is a really good example of bringing faith communities together. So we do special things for Holocaust Memorial Day. During National Interfaith Week we do faith walks in different towns and villages, helping the faith communities go and visit each other. We have a faith covenant with the local authority, a whole roll of things. And here in particular, in Corderdale and Halifax, The Minster, where I lead the community there, plays a significant role in being the people's palace for everyone. So 900 years of history. It reflects the whole history of the whole area. It had the largest medieval parish in northern England. John Cahill was sat in the John Cahill rooms here. John Cahill, who gave the land for the Peace Hall, is buried in the Minster. Certainly before the Peace Hall was built, the Minster was the public square. For the first 300 years, everything happened there. The weekly market, the administration of law and order, political meetings, as well as worship. And today we have rediscovered that medieval heritage of ours, that Benedictine spirituality of daily worship, so 3 services every day, and of hospitality. Joining together with our partners from the other faith communities, so whenever we have a civic event in the Minster, you will always find all the faith communities are coming together. And now with the reopening of the Peace Hall, we're coming together to share the great heritage assets which Halifax has. Thank you all.